Uh, Good morning and happy Friday, everyone. Today's a really big day for me. I'm actually very excited because cabin fever is tonight. If you don't know what cabin fever is, basically in Corning, specifically off throughout Market Street, as well as the part of Bridge Street that I'm going to let you know right now I'm not going to go to for a reason I'll get to in a moment. There are a whole lot of different vendors from different breweries, wineries, and distilleries. They're all throughout Market Street, different places. And you go to each one to sample a little fare from each one. And some places have food, so you're not just drinking alcohol for however long you're doing this for. And it's a lot of fun. It takes place. Market Street's divided up into 5 blocks, and then there's Bridge Street, which is the part I'm not going to go to. Simply put, where Market Street ends, because for me, I start at the Radisson Hotel in Corning. I go all the way to the end of Market Street, which, for those of you who don't know, at the very end of Market Street, you should see Wegmans in the distance. Specifically, I believe the last place is Bottles and Corks, but don't quote me on that. I only just saw the layout of what's going where last night, so bear with me. So where Market Street ends and the 3 places on Bridge Street are, it's pretty much an entire, like half of it. Basically be like walking 2 Market Streets, or actually another whole one, because I start from the Radisson and go all the way to the end and go all the way back. I'm basically walking up and down Market Street, to and back once. To go all the way to the end of Market Street, all the way to the places on Bridge Street and back, I pretty much walk Market Street 3 times. And I don't want to do that. Especially when, last year when I did it, I kind of banged it out within the span of an hour. So we'll see what happens. It also helped that it was warm out last year. This year, not so much. But you can't tell, I'm actually wearing a long johns on right now. So for the moment, I'm fairly toasty. Although, we'll see what happens when I go out tonight. More on that later. Actually, I need to get my shoes on because I'm not necessarily in a hurry, but the instant I'm done, I do need to get going. So while I'm getting these on, I can do my low and my high and my acts of kindness. Let's see. For my lowbie, I would say that it was pretty cold out yesterday, and we did get some snow. Thankfully, nothing too serious, and I was able to drive safely back here after visiting my parents, which was part of my high. I got to see my parents yesterday. I got to see my nephews yesterday, which is fun. They got to play out in the snow. I helped one of them with a puzzle. One of my nephews is really big into puzzles right now. So I got to, I'll tell you what though, working on a puzzle, I get it. Once you're locked in, you really want to try, getting it done, Because, before I knew it, I've been working on that puzzle for, a half hour with my nephew. That's insane. I've never done that. I've never done anything like that before. Well, it's been years since I worked on a puzzle, but it was fun. So, yeah, seeing my nephews, that was awesome. As well as yesterday's episode of Hot Ones, which I will get into momentarily. And what was my act of kindness? Well, actually, while my nephews were playing out in the snow, I was making sure that any of my nephews who stayed inside, specifically the one who played with puzzles, was safe. So there's that. What else did I do? I know I did other things. Um, oh, right, I shoveled my parents' driveway. Actually, this is how much snow we got yesterday. My parents' driveway was shoveled 4 times, including the time that I helped out. That's how much snow was piling up. So, yeah. My mom shoveled the driveway, my dad shoveled the driveway, my mom shoveled the driveway with my nephews, and then I did it. Thankfully, after I shoveled the driveway, that's when the snow started dying down. So, I did pretty good. So, let's talk about Hot Ones, featuring Rob McElhenney of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, who obviously is, on It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but he's also on a Mythic Quest, which was the very first question, why Ubisoft is a great place for, an inspiration for, Mythic Quest. And it's not about the gaming so much as it is a workplace comedy, like The Office, or Scrubs, or Superstore. Like, there's people in there with big egos and big ideas and big personalities, people who execute things, HR people. Like, there are so many comedic possibilities you can do with a workplace comedy that I could do an entire video on that sort of thing alone. And I don't think I would do it justice. With that said, though, I would say my favorite workplace comedy, I'd say Scrubs. Love Scrubs. I mean, someday I should do a video on Scrubs. Because, I love Zach Braff. I love Donald Faison. Like, those two make that show easily, but again, that's something for another day. Okay. You know what? I mentioned Always Sunny in Philadelphia, 17th season, over 20 years. It's Rob McElhenney, Charlie Day. I don't know the third guy. Hold on. I'm sorry. Again, at the very best, I'm just, a fan that passes by in terms of, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Okay. Glenn Howerton. Okay, so Charlie Day, Rob McElhenney, and Glenn Howerton. Obviously, they've been partners for 20 years. So Sean had to ask Rob, what are the foundational tips for preserving, a creative partnership and balancing ambition and, sustainability. And I loved Rob's answer here, because any relationship you're in, be it a relationship with, your special someone, a friend, a partner, a workmate, a teammate, classmate, whatever, the key is communication. Communication is the big one. You need to be able to communicate. And this is show business. Things need to get done quickly. If there is a problem, you got to be able to resolve the conflict and move on. And with Glenn Howerton, Rob McElhenney, and Charlie Day, it sounds simple, but the three of them trust each other like no one's business. When they need to decide something, they pretty much do a 2/3 vote. Obviously, they're open to suggestions. They'll hear the other person out. But again, they trust each other. Which, again, sounds simple on paper, but it really does make a big difference. They talked about, for the third one, they just talked about eating on camera, specifically how if you watch Ocean's 11, Brad Pitt eats in every scene that he's in. It's been a really long time since I've never seen Ocean's 11 all the way through. I'll have to check it out. They talked about how satire by nature needs to be counterculture. Otherwise, you're just like everybody else. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Takes place in Philadelphia. So, what's the most underrated food specialty in Philadelphia? Which I love when Rob pointed out that Philadelphia is where the birth of our nation happened. And now we're just known as like the people for, Philadelphia cheesesteaks. Bro, listen. To that I humbly disagree. I mean, they don't call you guys the city of brotherly love for nothing. I mean, yeah, you've got Philly cheesesteaks, but you've got your Philadelphia sports teams. You got Bradley Cooper. You got a lot of history. I believe Penn State and University of Pennsylvania are in that Philadelphia area. So, you got a lot going for you. I mean, speaking of which, once again, Philadelphia Eagles, congratulations on winning the Super Bowl. So, the most underrated food specialty in Philadelphia, believe it or not, is something I've had before. Tasty Cakes. I once had them from Meniere's. This was years ago. And they're good. I mean, I guess the way I could describe it is, think Hostess, only a whole lot less like Chemicals and Conspiracy. That's like the best I could think of. They talked about how being a creator can make you a better actor because when you know what's going on behind the scenes, it should allow you to create the performance that you want. That's really cool. They talked about how him being an owner of, I forget what team he owns, but it makes him more sympathetic for American sports. For the bomb, and kudos to Rob McElhenney for getting through the bomb, because more often than not, people, like Sean will ask a question for the bomb, but they won't be able to answer the question because they're reacting to the bomb. And Rob was able to answer the question, what are his Mount Rushmore of sitcoms? And I can proudly say I've seen 2 of them. Now, I'll be through, but I've seen a lot of episodes in both. Which was funny is he kept naming one and then he said, because I'd never seen anything like that before. So that said, Seinfeld, because he'd never seen anything like that before. The British Office, because he'd never seen anything like that before. And then he says Seinfeld. And then Sean says, because he'd never seen anything like that before. He's like, no, I've seen something like that before. And Family Ties. In case you're wondering, Seinfeld and Friends were the 2 shows I've seen. Sean asked what was worse, getting cut out of The Devil's Own or his cameo in Deadpool getting cut out. And easily it was the former, because it was his first big movie role that he was in. Like Brad Pitt was in the movie, and I forget who else was in the movie, but yeah, getting cut, that hurt him. And for the final question for, the last stab, since Rob is an actor and creator of a show, did he have any notes for, does he have any notes for Hot Ones? Which, you know what, given what happened in the episode so far, that's a fair question to ask. So, did Rob have any notes for Hot Ones? Well, TLDR, he loves the show. He's seen episodes of the show. He likes the show. He really didn't have anything bad to say about the show whatsoever. However, what he did say not only could apply for Hot Ones, but literally any creative hopefuls out there, which is you need to look for a hook. That's what it's called, a hook, because it hooks people in. It gets people invested. It gets people to watch whatever you're doing. However, your hook can also be a liability. To have a hook that brings people in is one thing, but if you don't expand upon that, evolve it, adapt and change around it, you're never going to last. Hot Ones, however, has transcended that. Because, the hook for Hot Ones is a hot show. It is the hot show featuring hot chicken wings. But with each guest, it's a different situation. You really never know what you're going to get. There's a reason. Like, this is why I watch Hot Ones. Because it's true. Like, if it's a guest that I don't know who they are, just by watching Hot Ones, I learn so much about them. If it's someone I do know, well, first of all, it's awesome when I know them. But more importantly, I learned that much more, and then I can be a better fan toward that celebrity. So, Rob McElhenney, you're awesome. Congratulations on making it to the Wings of Death. And I can't wait for next week. I also need a subscription to find out where Mythic Quest is, because I've heard a lot of good things about Mythic Quest. I hope you'll like this video. If you'd like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I enjoyed holding this video. For all you guys watching, enjoy for the name. Hopefully you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Friday. And remember, if there's anything you guys want to talk or channel, always will be here to lend. And always you're back. Take care and make good choices. 607 all day, baby.